And I'm sorry, Meg Matthews, I really, really am. There's a whole load of menopause books out there, and I've read just about every one of them, but I find there's 5 I go back to. So these are my top 5 menopause books. Straight in at number 5 is The Happy Menopause by Jackie Lynch. I call this the A to Z of menopause help when it comes to nutrition. It's like a medical dictionary. All the symptoms are laid out, and you have recipes, you have supplements that can help, you have handy tips for how to get more, for example, flaxseed into your diet to help with hot flushes, I think. I need to read it again. It's not complicated. It doesn't cost you loads of ingredients. You don't have to go searching around on the internet for ages to try and find that one precise thing you need. It's just good, basic, honest, common sense. And yeah, I recommend this to loads of people. In fact, I told a friend she could have my copy, and I haven't given it to her yet because I still like it. Now an apology. And I'm sorry, Meg Matthews, I really, really am. Because when I heard you had a menopause book out, I thought, great, Britpop, menopause. Which is why I was really surprised with the new Hot, because it's such a good book. And the reason why I don't have a copy in my little hands to show you is because I give it to a friend, because I knew she would love it and it would help her a lot, and it did. Yeah, Meg Matthews has pots of money. She says, I can afford to do all these things. She's honest. If she tries something and it doesn't work, then she says it didn't work. It doesn't matter how expensive it was. Plus, it's written in such an easy way. It's like going to the pub and chatting menopause with your pals. She has so many different voices in it as well. It's not just the same ones going over and over. I get really bored of reading the same experts in a menopause book or the same stories coming out again. There are millions of us going through the menopause. Come on, do your research, find some different voices. She has Buck Angel, the trans man, talking about his menopause, and that is the first time I've seen it mentioned in a book. I just really, really liked it, and I would highly recommend it, and I'm beginning to regret I'd given it away. In at number 3, although these numbers really mean absolutely nothing, they're just how I pick up the books, we have another celebrity one. And that rare thing for me, it is an ebook. It is Cracking the Menopause, because Alice Smelly, one of the authors, offered to send me a copy, and I was waiting and it never arrived. So eventually, the night before it came out, I went onto Amazon and I got my own copy. And I'm really glad, because now I can't give it away to anybody else. It's mine. I get to keep it. And that's great, because I love this. I love this a lot. I'm a huge Mariella Frostup fan anyway. It's written by Mariella Frostup and Alice Smelly. Should have mentioned that. She was one of the first women to do a documentary on HRT and on menopause, The Truth About Menopause. I think it's still on iPlayer. If it's not, there's certainly clips around. And if you do a little jiggery pokery, you can probably find it somewhere on the internet. The reason why this isn't like other celebrity menopause books is Mariella and Alice are both journalists. So they've done the research and they're able to edit out what's not necessary. So what you get is a practical, easy to read guide. It's also very, very humorous. I was giggling away at times, and it speaks to you like you are a modern, intelligent woman who just needs a bit of a guiding hand about menopause. Doesn't talk down to you at all. You get Mariella talking about her experiences, and then Alice will step in with some of the science part. You're not just getting a whole load of anecdotes. You're getting anecdotes and this is the science behind it. This is why it happens. This is how many other women are going through it. And I really enjoyed that. There are 2 books you should have in your menopause library. Cracking the Menopause is one of them. My next choice is quite like Marmite. You'll either love it or you won't. It is The Menopause Manifesto by Dr. Jen Gunter. She's a US doctor, and she's most famous for keeping Gwyneth Paltrow in line whenever some of her goop claims are a little difficult to believe, shall we say. This is a feminist's guide to menopause. It's not just looking at all the symptoms and all the details and all the biology behind it, which it does very, very well, but it's looking at things like why menopause is called menopause and all the history behind it. It looks at the evolutionary facts behind menopause, why it's good for us to go through a menopause, how important we are after we go through a menopause, and also just how menopause is viewed today by society and the world. She also gives excellent advice about bone health, about our heart health, HRT, alternatives. It's a good, well-rounded read, very feminist. It will make you ranty, and I call it my suffragette book of the menopause because at the end of it, I just can talk for hours. Oh, and Dr. Jen's PR, if you're watching, I'm still waiting for the interview you promised me last year. And finally, and yes, I will say this is number one because it's my number one book, tied, I suppose, now with Cracking the Menopause, but for a long time, this was the book I always recommended. It is The M Word by Dr. Philippa Kay, and I love it. Yes, I have a massive girl crush on Dr. Philippa because she's lovely and I've interviewed her and she's really, really friendly and nice as well. And she has the most cracking lipstick, but she writes in a very honest and open and down-to-earth way. This isn't a book if you're after touchy-feely self-care, go buy yourself a spa for 3 hours and you'll feel better book. It is going to tell you everything you need to know about the menopause, what it does to your body and what you can do to help it. So we have treatments from HRT to all the complementary therapies. She even taught me how to put my estrogen gel on properly. Yeah, it's in the book. I wasn't doing it right. There's even 2 chapters on sex and relationships, which is a breath of fresh air. So few books talk about that in depth. And yeah, we still want to have a sex life and we don't want to kill our partners. More of this, please. There's no judgments. Dr. Philippa is very much, if that works for you, then go for it. Do it. If it's helping, brilliant. That's all that counts. And that's me in many ways as well. I mean, magnets down the knickers? No, I'm not going to tell you to waste your money on that. But if something's working for you, then go for it. Don't you need anybody else's permission? This and Cracking the Menopause, yeah, they're my 2 top books that I would recommend. But if you get any of the others, you're in for a good read and you will end up more educated, more informed and entertained as well. I'd love to know what books you're reading about menopause, or if you've read any of these and you're thinking, what? That's the worst book in the world. Let me know in the comments below. And please don't forget, if you've enjoyed this, like, subscribe and share with all your friends. See you soon.